you are interested in this. You've tweeted about how this is part of a culture war that you say bodes ill for genuine press freedom. What do you mean? What are your concerns about what's happened over the last week?
I sit on the Culture Committee, so Tim Davies, someone who I've sparred with for years now, I think I'm on my 4th Prime Minister that I'm on that committee under. So, I mean, I'm not necessarily his biggest fan, but I think the way he was taken out so suddenly by the Daily Telegraph is a bit concerning, really. And over this Trump edit, BBC is a very big organisation. In some ways, it's like the NHS. So CBeebies is really different to the World Service, for example. But to take out a Director General and a Director of News over this editing issue, I mean, I'm sort of still poring over the letter that's come back. But I feel the complaints in the dossier that led to all this are all from a certain political perspective. And I just don't think that there's been a lot of methodology behind this complaint. It seems sort of, one thing has pushed him over the edge. I don't know what happened. There's all sorts of theories today about what was happening at board level. But, I mean, if you look at the sort of issues being complained about, and the fact that Trump himself is now claiming victory, I think it's actually quite concerning.
I mean, are you suggesting that it was some kind of internal political coup?
I know the word coup is a bit strong, but I mean, look, we are hearing that there are a number of individuals in the BBC that have a lot of sway. And I mean, the Trump edit itself, if we just look at the substance of that complaint, he did say those two things. It was a messy edit. It was misleading.
He said them almost an hour apart.
But
on a nuanced terms, it's misrepresentative to suggest it was in
the sort of editing. Maybe this is a danger as well, that the BBC, that's anti-Beeb, so trusted for years, is falling into the trap of what a lot of the internet does, is splice things up in a misleading way. So I think a fulsome apology and not falling into that trap of the instant multi-platform media that we have. But I don't know, to me, it does look concerning that two people, and the speed at which it happened as well. The Telegraph was orchestrating this for days. And the people who are happy today are who? Trump, Boris Johnson, I think Kemi Badenoch, and Priti Patel did a tweet last week as well on this. I just think there's something a little bit unsavoury in going through the letter. I mean, it says that a lot of these things have been dealt with. It was a very lengthy complaint. And as I say, it looked like cherry-picked examples to fit an agenda.
Does the government have confidence in the BBC's impartiality, do you think?
I mean, as far as I know, it does. And, just only a week ago, or within the last few days, everyone was celebrating the Celebrity Traitors final. It does a lot of really great output, but it's a big organisation. All big organisations will make slip-ups sometimes. And I suppose this particular Director General, under his watch, there's been Hugh Edwards, there's been Greg Wallace, there's been quite a few of these things. But I think it is more dangerous if there's a systematic attempt to replace people on the board by other right-wing people that we keep hearing a lot about. Nick Robinson's been saying this on the Today programme, for example.
Is there a concern? I mean, as somebody on the Culture and Media Select Committee, you'll have looked closely at the BBC. It seems a thrust of a lot of what Michael Prescott has said in his report was that there were pressure groups that were having a real impact on what was broadcast on the BBC, that it was becoming... You're concerned about it being people who are right-wing having an impact on these roles, but he was saying that fundamentally there was a lot of stuff that was too left-wing that was having an impact on the actual coverage on the news in terms of anti-Semitism, in terms of women's rights.
I mean, I think, again, it would be an idea to also trust the journalists and get a wider selection of voices than this one complaint. To me, it seems extraordinary that this very lengthy complaint...
But there have been other journalists who've spoken out. That, there's a lady who says she was forced out because of her gender-critical views at the BBC, writing in the Times today. So there have been other people that have voiced similar concerns.
But it's such a big organisation. There are hundreds and hundreds of employees. So, for example, at the all-staff meetings, a lot of other stuff comes up that's not in his complaint. For example, I think there was unease at the Doctors in Gaza documentary being completely pulled, and that was for a perception of bias. It wasn't even for bias. There have been other big mistakes, the one with the Hamas official's child narrating it. that was for bias, whereas this one was for perception of bias. So I know there's a lot of frustrations within, and it feels like there is a sort of class of person that's able to get access to Telegraph front pages and those kind of things that seems to be in the ascent here, and it's disturbing, I feel.
Do you think this is going to have an impact on the BBC's charter renewal?
Again, at this sensitive time, I really hope not, because, I mean, obviously, if there's things that need to be fixed in that charter, yes, but if it's all from one perspective, if it's all hand-picked examples to fit a conclusion that's already been made, that it's full of raving lefties, I don't buy that at all. I don't think it is institutionally biased. It makes mistakes. Those should be dealt with. But it seems extraordinary for two very senior people from the management to have been taken out by the Telegraph.
Rupa Huq, very good to talk to you. Thank you very much.